housing and the fallout from the explosion from the alien ship that shot its laser-like weapon in District 11. Everyone's so shocked. I told my brother John in District 11 that Truden the alien said, if you don't have peace and cease your weapons, that they would shoot. So now my brother is probably gone, and my boyfriend Liam. Airedale, the taxi cab driver, said he drove past the gates of District 11 and all the buildings have collapsed. Everything is in a rumble. They don't know if the president is even alive. They said they haven't heard if my brother John, the politician, made it. It looks really bad in District 11, which is the funniest thing. District 11 was the posh district with all the food and all the oxygen, while we were in the terrible section. But here we are, lucky to be in our district. And my mom, I checked on her, she's okay. But my father passed away. So many people passed away. And I'm just hoping that Liam's alive. I felt my stomach and I feel a kick in it. I'm pregnant with Liam's child. I've got to find a way if he's alive. He promised me the Sunday after New Year's to meet by the old shed in the warehouse district that's all dilapidated and full of rats, and it's condemned. Even the RoboCops won't let anyone go there. I'm supposed to meet by the big old tree. If he's alive, he'll be there. But Singing Joe told me that they had like a big celebration for New Year's in the underground club. And so Airedale, the taxi cab driver, is going to take me because he wants me to give him some cheese. Because Jaffa always is generous. The only food I'm able to get. And the RoboCops are coming to tattoo the rest of us and put these marks on us. And anyone that has a tattoo can get their ration of food and water. But Jaimin says, don't take the tattoo. He says it's some kind of like mind control where we'll be slaves forever and be workers and never be able to think for ourselves. But with the District 11 gone, the robots are still programmed as if the politicians and the leaders were still alive. The RoboCops are programmed to keep us slaves. We've got to figure out a way. So Jaffa and Jaimin want us to talk about it. I have to do something. I have to get out of this awful, terrible district and see if Liam's alive. And Truman gave me some kind of battery. He told me if anything happened to take this battery and use it in my drone. It's raining really hard and I'm so cold. And my neighbor, the ambulance took him. He never came back. And I have his dog. I have to free his dog. I look at his dog. I know my cat's gone. She never came back, so she must have found a way out of our district. And my mom says she doesn't want to leave. She's just going to stay. She says life is not worth living ever since my dad died. There's not many of us left, and those that are left are fighting for a piece of bread or a piece of cheese, and even fighting for air. But Truman told me, the alien said, there's other parts of the world, if I could just get to it, that the sun hasn't blocked out, that the politicians lied to us, that they were planning to go to other parts of the world and repopulate. So I know if I can get out of here, I will find green earth and other people that have made it. I have to see if Liam's alive. I have to know it. I just have to know. So Airedale came. I saw the taxi. I ran out. How you doing? Says Airedale. Almost New Year's. It's very hard to breathe now. It's really terrible in District 11. All those nice buildings, all those beautiful homes, and those green grass yards all crumble down to the ground. And the toxic aftermath fumes are really bad. You have to wear a mask if you go by there. And I said, Jaffa's invited me to talk about like how we can avoid getting this tattoo. And Airedale said, well, we need the tattoo to get food. It's not so bad. Do you want to be the only one without a tattoo? We can't get out of here. The roads are all destroyed. You can't drive too far without gas. We're stuck. Yeah, and the robots are programmed to keep us in our separate districts, even though that District 11's gone. We don't even know if the president's there. So I went underground, and Jaffa welcomes me, and Jaimin's there, and they're playing cards, and they're drinking their cognac, and they're smoking their cigars, and the girls are dancing, and they have whiskey, and they have cheese. I was so hungry. Jaffa gives me a piece of cheese, and it gives me a nice hot cup of cocoa because I'm not drinking right now. You don't want to drink, girl. Nice shot of whiskey helps you. I said, no, hot tea, hot cocoa. So Jaffa gives me some hot tea and hot cocoa, and Jaimin says, they're offering rewards for people, and then they're going to promote people to be politicians. Jaffa says, yes, I'll make a good politician. One day I'll be a leader. And Jaimin says, yes, we'll both be leaders. I'm the president and you're the vice president. And Jaffa says, no, I'll be president, you're vice president. And they laughed and they chuckled and they played cards. I see you got a spade. I see you got a king. And as they were talking, Jaffa says, here, eat. Here's a piece of cheese. And then while they were talking, I felt dizzy and I felt tired. And I started just feeling really dizzy. The next thing I knew, I fainted. And then I woke up. I was in some kind of room. Help, get me out of here. And I'm knocking on the door and I'm knocking. Why am I locked in this room? Get me out of here. Jaffa, Jaimin, what's going on? And I realized that it dawned on me. They put something in my drink. Jaffa couldn't betray me like that. He's helped me the whole time. But I remember Singing Joe warned me. Singing Joe said, one day you're a friend, and one day someone could betray you because this is the survival of the fittest. And when it's at war, there's no one to be trusted. Jaffa and Jaimin betrayed me? They're gonna turn me in and get me a tattoo, and they're gonna get a reward. And he will get into District 11's new District 13, the new politicians, and run the city with the RoboCops. I can't believe it. I can't believe Jaffa. Jaffa, I can't believe you did this to me. Singing Joe was right. Singing Joe was right. You can't trust anyone. But I have to get to the warehouse tree on Sunday before New Year's. Liam's supposed to be there. If he's alive, we plan our escape out of here. And Truman gave me the battery for my drone so I can fly out of here. I can't believe I'm stuck. And there was a piece of bread that someone slid under the door. And then I heard the door twist. The door twisted, but no one came in. I didn't understand. I tried the door, and the door's open. And so somebody opened the door. I wonder who opened the door. I had to get out of the underground club because one of the girls see me. A girl walked by, and I turned my face to the wall so she couldn't see me. And I went and I saw Jaffa. Jaffa was drinking whiskey. He looked like he was drunk, and there was a girl doing a lap dance on him. And Jaimin was at the bar talking to a girl. And I quickly ran out of the underground club. I have to get out of here. I've got to get to the warehouse. I need to get my battery pack. My battery pack's at my house. That could be very dangerous with the RoboCops, and maybe someone see me. Maybe Airedale would tell Jaimin. Maybe Airedale was sent by Jaffa. So I quickly hid, and RoboCops were searching the street and policing the street. I had to quickly get to my house and pack my bag and get the battery. I had to. So I went down the streets and I turned the corner and I ducked as each RoboCop flew by. And then I went around the back of my apartment and opened the screen window and jumped in. And there the dog. Oh, I have to do something to the dog. I gotta let him be free. I'll bring him to District 4 by my mom. There's holes over there where the bomb from the alien ship blasted. Some parts of the walls open. Maybe you can get out. Come on, dog. Come on. I got my backpack and the battery and the piece of bread that I had. Come on, dog. And so me and the dog went down the street. The RoboCops were coming, and we hid in the bush. And I threw a can on the other side of the street, and the RoboCop goes, "Halt! Who goes there? Who goes there?" And went the opposite direction. I go, "Come on, run, 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 dog, run!" And so we ran down the street, and we ran, and we ran, and we ran, and I couldn't even run any further. My stomach hurt, and my legs hurt, and my breathing was hurt. But I had to get to the warehouse. I had to get to the warehouse. And I went there. I finally went there. There was a rat that scuttled by. Oh, I just wanted to scream, but I knew I couldn't make any noise. And I'm like, "Come on, dog, we got to get to the tree." And there was a tree up ahead by the old rundown warehouse. It didn't even have a roof anymore, just all rusted and boards and just full of rats and cockroaches. And it was just really terrible. So I went behind the tree where I agreed to meet Liam. If he was alive, he'd be here. I was so exhausted and tired. And I got there and I went behind the bush and I just fell asleep. And then I fell asleep and I woke up and I heard something in the bushes. Oh my gosh, there's a RoboCop, or maybe Diamond or Jaffa followed me. And it was Liam. Liam, it's you. My boyfriend, he's alive. And Liam, he walked over to me and he held me in his arms. Liam, you're alive. And we just held each other in his arms. And I breathed. I was so happy. It was his big arms holding me, his warm body. And he held my hand. I held his hand. And we kissed. I looked into his eyes and I kissed. Our lips touched. And we kissed what seemed like a forever kiss. Our hearts were beating. My body exploded against his. And I took his hand. I put his hand on my stomach. And I looked into his eyes. I said, "Liam, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant with your child." And he smiled and he was so happy. A baby. And he looked at me. And he was shaking. I go, "What is it, Liam? What is it?" And his hand touched his stomach. There was blood. "Liam, you're bleeding. You're bleeding." And he looked at me. "I'm not bleeding, kid. I'm only just a little blood. It's just a little wound. A little wound. He looked at me. "You got to take care of our baby. You got to make it out of here. The two of you go on and make it for me." "What do you mean, Liam? What do you mean?" And Liam looked at me and he smiled. And his eyes closed. And his head sunk back. And he was gone. Liam was gone. Liam, no. No, Liam, no. No. And I buried my boyfriend. I buried him and the dog looked at me. I dug for hours and I buried him. I said a prayer. I'm not even religious, but I said a prayer to give him this proper burial. My boyfriend, the father of my child. And I looked at the dog. "You've got to go. You've got to go. You got to find a way to get out of here. Get out of these districts. You run and you run as fast as you can and you go to where the air is fresh and the sun is out. I can't take you on the drone. There's not enough weight. I don't know how to take you with me. I wish I could." And I started the drone. And I looked at the dog and I said, "Go. You go. You go and you get out of here and you make it. You make it for me. Because I can't take you up here with me." And the drone flew higher and higher. And I was above the ground, hovering. And the drone flew up the tree, above the branches, above the top of the tree, over the old warehouse building. And I could see the dog. He was getting smaller and he was barking at me and barking. "Goodbye, dog. Make it for me." And I was up in the air. I had to avoid the drones and the RoboCops, searching the sky for anybody. And I took up in the air. And the battery seemed to be working that the aliens couldn't give me. But I had to go around District 11 to get out of here. Just shooting the aliens said, go past District 11. They said District 11, no one was allowed to go past District 11. No roads, nothing. The gate stopped. Not even Airedale, the taxi driver, ever went past there. He said it's not allowed. I wonder if it was just dark and it was a trap and I would just be exploded into oblivion. I had no choice. Robocops were policing every district. District 4, District 44, District 1, District 2, District 3. The new posh District 13 was being built for any politicians or any presidents or elders running the districts. So I went around District 11. I had my special mask that Trude and the alien gave me for breathing. And I went around District 11 and it was completely destroyed. All those nice, beautiful 10,000 square foot mansions and 20,000 square foot mansions and all those Capitol buildings, all those buildings for all the politicians and the elders and the people running the world, gone, destroyed. And I went past in the dark area and I closed my eyes and a drone carried me and it rained and rained and rained and rained. It was on autopilot and it seemed like 3 days. I can't remember. It was 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I'm so delirious. Been flying up here for what it seemed like. I just remember the sun went up and down like 2 or 3 times. I think it's 3 days. I'm so parched for water and food, and I'm so tired. And the baby's kicking. And so I think it's 4 or 5 days now. And I look up ahead and I see a bird flying. I see a bird. A bird's flying. There has to be a tree or something. And then I see light. I see the sunshine. Sunlight. They said there was no sun left. The sun, Trude and the alien was right. There is sunlight. And I see water below me. And I see treetops. Land. I have to go land over here and see if there's food and see. There is a new world. There is a bright new world. There is something there. There is a new future. And I lowered the drone and I slowly started going below the tree branches and lower and lower and lower. And it touched the soft ground and there was grass. And I landed and I saw fresh water. And I went and got water. And I saw the birds in the tree. And up ahead I heard a voice. Hello! Anyone there? Someone was there. I wonder if it's friend or foe. And I'm like, Dad, somebody fell down from the sky. I heard a little kid. There's people here. Hello? Are you alright, lady? Are you alright? Hi. There's people here. You're people. Of course. There was a big explosion, and most of the people in the village died, but there's several of us that have survived, and we're all getting together and camping. Please join us. And I looked, and it said, thank you. And they lifted me up, and they said, we have food, we have water. There is a new world out there. There is a new world. My District 11 tried to stop us and separate us. It looks like people have made it out of our districts for a new world, a new future. And I just held my stomach and smiled and walked off, knowing that everything was going to be okay, that we would create a new world, a better world. We were survivors, and we survived for a reason, to lead and be brave and be bright, and to never let what happened again, being separated into districts based on money and status and power, but to come together and be good people no matter who you are. I held my stomach and I walked with my new friends, knowing it's going to be a better world. And it started raining. I looked up and I saw a rainbow in the sky, and I saw the birds flying and the birds chirping. Look, Ellen, I found a girl. She's wounded. Oh, please hurry, come. Come sit in our warm place. It's nice to meet new people. And I said, yes, it's nice to meet new people. This is the final conclusion of the Haunting Diaries of Emily Jane.